Nice.
Good morning, Alex. How are you?
Good morning, Josh. I'm quite good. I'm more tired than last time because it's earlier. It's a lot
It's
earlier.
very early. It is 9 o'clock. We normally film these at 10.
Yeah, we look tired as well.
We do. We look like we
do.
just rolled out of bed. So, how you been since last week? What's been going on?
I pretty much got the job now. Pretty much, I just got to sign it. I'm literally going to be signing it today.
So, what is this surveyor job then?
It's like
go into detail because I don't really know.
So it's gonna be hard. That's what ruined it. That's not on camera. So what I did was I'm applying to be apprentice for a building surveyor.
Mm-hmm.
And a building surveyor, what they do is they go around, they evaluate, they work out what the building's made of, where the faults are, where the hazards are, and specifically where the damage is. So it helps. So you usually have to consult a building surveyor if you want to, say, make your former storage room into a residential building. And if you're going to do that, you need to consult a building surveyor because they can tell you if it's if what you need to make it into a residential area, or else it will be deemed dangerous and people can't live there.
Okay, so in terms of your apprenticeship that you'll be doing, what would you be doing in terms of that kind of job? Would you be going in and, being the number one role on a surveyor job? Probably not.
No.
What would you be doing, as an apprenticeship, for people that don't know? For people that maybe want to go into surveying jobs,
Well, they should. It's a career for one, and also the fact is that not many people are doing it anymore, and they need more people, especially in the local area, to do it. So if they get onto it, they got, once you're high end of it, highly experienced, you get 70 grand a year. So
yeah. So what's the benefits of being a surveyor?
You caught me out. Well, at the moment, fuel prices, although they have risen, they're still at a pretty low price.
Yeah.
So a lot of your job is driving, and when you drive, they will have to reimburse you per mile. They have to pay you 45p. That's actually more than you're paying per mile. So you're actually making money from your miles at the moment.
Yeah.
That's a bonus.
It's
not a great one, but it's one.
Give you all a heads up, Alex. Still got a bit of toothpaste there.
This is such a good start.
Give me a little wipe, mate. We'll carry on. I'll make sure the camera's off.
That's
Try and remember future me to do that.
I'm actually going to put something in front of my face, like maybe the old picture of me from last week, just over my face.
Yeah. I've currently been warring with myself on what time I should upload these. And I finally came up. It's Fridays now because I can't edit it and get it all out on a Thursday, because it's like we film them in the morning and it takes me all day to edit. I'd rather edit half of it today, edit half of it tomorrow, and start uploading it in the evening.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Because I get really bored at college as well, so it gives me something to do in those 2 hours. That Paul was just speaking out of his arse. My teacher, his name's Paul, and God, is he fucking boring. I have a really good teacher. I've talked about it on my first podcast. My really good teacher's named Luke, and he just kind of, he talks to you about everything. He gets really into detail with everything, but he's not fucking boring. But I have Paul, and then we are in this lecture theatre, and we're just sitting there, and he just talks, and he doesn't even, no one gets involved because no one wants to get involved. He tries to get people to put their hands up, and it's like, no one wants to talk to you, Paul. No one's interested in what you have to say, Paul. You're a boring fucker.
Oh, leave Paul.
And he just talks, and that's kind of hypocritical coming from two people that will do a podcast.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But the guy, he's kind of that person that loves the sound of his own voice. So he'll just talk for the sake of talking. And one thing that really put everyone off him, the first time anyone ever met him, was there's no good or bad movies. Was the first thing he said to us.
But there is.
There is bad movies.
There's a lot of bad movies.
And he just told film students that there's no good or bad movies.
Does he want you to fail?
I suppose, and then we have to do tasks where we have to basically review movies. So what are we supposed to say? Oh, this movie's great because it has actor A and actor B, but
no plot,
no plot, no good anything. The shots are terrible. It's basically The Room on ice. It's just not good, and he's just such a just need to get that out.
I don't blame you actually. It's nice to have a good rant actually.
Do you have any teachers like that at Belfast that you want to rant about? Maybe hope that they're listening to this.
I mean, with our views, it's likely that they won't. But do I have? Actually, in fairness, I liked all of them, despite them not all being very good at their jobs. Like,
so they're all nice people, but just
they're all nice people. One just read off a slide, like she'd find a slide from wherever on like the K drive, is what they called it, and then the shared area, and then she'd just read off it, and that was our lesson. And then one guy, my physics teacher, he was like ill a lot on the start of the year, like when we first joined. So we didn't really learn much about physics for like the first month, and then he was off for like 3 months after that. So then we got in this this Scottish guy, this other Scottish guy, and he was really weird, and he wasn't a very good teacher. He didn't know the syllabus. He was teaching us the wrong syllabus.
Oh my god, that just sounds exactly like our school, doesn't it? It was just
it's Belfast for you.
It was just always like that all the time. It was just, this teacher doesn't know what they're doing.
And then our physics teacher came back, our old one, and they were both trying to teach the same lesson to us, like in the same classroom. It was really odd. Miss Sin literally went to me, because we weren't particularly a fan of the first one, because he hasn't really taught us anything at this point, but the other guy was just starting all right and just getting worse and worse. And Miss Sin literally went to me and went, "Which one do you want out of the job?" And I was like,
really?
And I picked one. And it's like, it's the weirdest thing I ever had experienced.
So they let a student pick someone, and if they lost their job or not.
They pretty much,
That's professional.
Yeah, it's.
As much as I like Miss Singh, that's quite unprofessional to ask a student. I understand that the student is the person that's being taught and has to learn off this person, but the school system should know already if they're a good teacher or not, given the grades that they've got off other students.
Yeah, although they made up for it, because the next year they got a new vice principal, and she was a physics teacher. Oh,
an actual vice principal now, not Mr. Rodolfo.
No, he's gone to Cecil, I think.
Oh, God. I feel bad for Cecil. That's the place going to burn down again, isn't it?
Yeah, they called it a promotion, but I think he got, like, head of learning and development, I think, or something like that.
That's what it was anyway, wasn't it?
Well, until he was vice principal or whatever. Oh, principal, is that American?
Principal, you can say the same. No one really cares.
Everyone really knows the American language now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's all we speak now, isn't it? Just seems to be...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spelling hasn't gone quite yet. For some things it has.
Colour is something that people get very confused with. I don't know about kids in primary schools if they're learning colour like that, if that's how they think they have to spell it.
And the worst bit is, like, they don't know the 999 call, do they?
They know it as 911. Oh my god.
That's pretty dangerous.
Is that actually true?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Is your brother like that, or does he know?
Oh no, he knows, but like the younger ones, like when they first get a mobile phone and stuff, and all they've heard is like American programs, haven't they?
That's all they got brought up on.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only outsource, and the only way they can sort of chill like they need it. But anyway,
well,
it's terrible.
Talking about England and how bad it is, what do you think about the Brexit deal being announced?
I'm being too scared to look at it.
Same. I mean, it's 540 pages, all written on sheepskin. So. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that. I found out the other day that all legislation in this country is written on sheepskin. How out of fucking touch is that with politics?
Well, if you think about it,
it's tradition, but who the fuck cares? It's costing people tax-paying money to pay for sheepskin.
Well, it's either that or the rainforest, Josh. So, which would you rather? Murder tons of sheep or chop down the trees?
We have a lot more trees than we do sheep.
Yes, but we keep chopping them down, don't we?
Costs a lot less. But you could, chop one down, make some paper out of it, fucking plant a new one. How hard is that? People are so fucking hard.
I'm pretty sure a tissue paper company was doing it, weren't they? Was it? I can't remember which one it was now.
The one with the baby.
Yeah.
No, it's not Andrex.
It wasn't
Andrex.
Andrex.
It's the
no.
dogs.
Others are available. You have to do that, don't you?
Do you?
I think so.
Oh yeah, we might not be able to put this up soon.
Really?
Yeah, because the EU's passed Article 13.
Oh my god, I hated that article.
It's passing. It's going through. So YouTube have come out with a statement that they will have to stop people uploading from the EU in case of copyright laws affecting them.
It's terrible, isn't it?
So I don't know, something as simple as having that tea in the background or whatever, or that fucking bit of rubbish in the background. I don't know, in the kitchen. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's got a name on that.
Yeah, I mean, any of that up there, the Boston stuff, that could get us taken down while we're still in the EU.
No, we're in America. We're in Boston.
Yeah. I'll just upload it via a VPN. Just make sure they think I'm in New York, but I'm actually just a British.
That was one of the only times I've ever been on the side of UKIP. The UKIP were the only EU party trying to stop it.
To be fair, they've reformed in terms of that. But
other thing, free speech.
They are very more. They're much more free speech. They've got Count Dankula doing speeches.
Yeah.
Did you see his speech? Very interesting. It was very interesting going on about free speech and how many people in this country and in Scotland have been arrested and charged because of something they said online.
I don't think that's right.
That's not right at all. I mean, it's like fucking. I don't believe in hate speech.
No, I don't either.
I don't believe that hate speech can incite violence. I believe that violence incites violence. I believe that. Oh, this is really controversial.
I know, it's really, really controversial. So we're going to see if we can get into prison, basically.
Yeah, let's go all right wing. No, I believe in both the right and the left. I take things from both sides. I'm not for the right. I'm not for the left. Leave me alone.
I'm for the right.
There's some interesting things on both sides.
That is true. I mean, you can't discount either side.
Exactly, because there's always things that you want to agree with on one side and things you disagree with on the other.
You
should disagree with things on your own side as well. I mean,
absolutely.
Especially when you're right wing. There's
plenty to dislike as well.
Especially like immigration reform, stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure you can agree with people being some people being not allowed into the country, given background and stuff like that. But there is such importance of having people come into this country and learn. I mean, how many friends of yours either come from a Muslim background or an Indian background, and they're hyper intelligent and they're going and do great things, and they're gonna be doctors and they're gonna fucking help your children and stuff like that.
Funny enough, the two I knew didn't. They really weren't.
Oh, fair enough. Who are they?
Sparma. They're great laugh. But they.
I'm not saying all any
racist
person from an Indian background
racist
is a fucking doctor.
No, but actually, one of them did try to be a doctor with me at one point. That was fun. We were going to go to Bulgaria at one point.
Oh yeah.
We decided not to. It was a better idea. But no, that was that is true, and I'm pro immigration. I'm just not pro mass immigration. I do think it has to be controlled at a point,
Oh yeah, I completely understand that. But I believe it is already controlled in this country. It's not like people are just coming over all the time. I mean, we stopped the people coming through from Syria and stuff like that. But I think fucking Irish border shit, that's mental.
I'm very confused about
Irish people don't want to come over anyway. They have such a great country.
They do have a nice country. And
why would you want to come over here? It's so boring. And we don't like you anyway. As much as I love Irish people, and I come from an Irish background, English people hate Irish people, purely because of what happened 10, 20 years ago with the IRA.
Luckily I wasn't born in that time, so I have no hate towards the Irish. I think they're quite funny people normally.
Yeah, I mean...
Great humour.
I do have great humour. They are funny, especially
the
when you
only
get
issue is going
into
an Irish pub. That's where it gets a bit... They don't like you there.
There's an Irish pub, there's an Irish pub in pretty much every country in the world.
Really?
And when I went to Athens, which we talked about before, I went to a pub called the Lazy Bulldog.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, which was it's an English pub in Athens. And one thing that I found really confusing is they went, "We're a pub, we don't sell spirits." Because me and my mate were like, "Oh, do you want to get a shot of vodka or something?" And we found out they don't do any spirits. It's just beer and cider. That's all they did. And like the cheap knockoff Lidl cider, it's like knockoff Copperberg.
Yeah.
They sold that on tap. So it's like so huge out there. And it's not over here because we have Copperberg. But they had a Copperberg sign, but they didn't sell Copperberg.
Oh. Well, that'd get the punters in, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I just drank Guinness there. It was nice to be able to be in a hot country and drink Guinness.
I have not tried Guinness, but I really do.
You've never tried Guinness?
Is it quite high in iron? Isn't that why it's
I actually don't know. It's just black and tastes nice. That could be taken massively out of context.
There you go. Another way to get your site, your YouTube off, and
Oh, what? Just name it Black and Taste Nice. Welcome to our podcast.
That is, yeah. I'm glad the right-wing person didn't say that. Was like
But yeah, back onto politics.
My favourite topic.
I mean, it's very. I think even Remainers and Brexiteers and stuff like that have come to a point where we all just hate May. We all are together in disliking May.
I don't hate her, but I had to admit she's got the toughest job I think any prime minister's ever had,
and
since the war.
She's not performed it very well.
And yeah, well, the issue was you do have to either go Remainer or you have to go Brexit, and she just walked down the middle so that no one was happy. That's what she did basically. So the things like you being in the middle of the political spectrum, you took the best things from both sides. She took the worst bits from both sides.
Yeah.
Put them together, because the way Brexit would have to work is you need a free
trade deal. Yeah.
You need a free trade deal, or necessarily, and you need to have an internal free market. You need to look after the free market, so you can't have EU regulations. You need to outcompete them with your regulations. So that was the most important bit of Brexit, which she had to get right, which I don't believe she has. I think we're still under EU regulations with this new deal.
Oh, we're still under EU regulations.
So it's like we've got the worst deal. We're now basically the EU slave. If this passes, we're the EU slave.
Oh no.
It's terrible because we don't get now any choice in the votes.
Well, whoever Dominic Raab is, he's resigned.
He was Foreign Secretary.
He's resigned over May's deal.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise. He was a Brexiteer, so Brexiteers aren't happy, and Remainers aren't happy. They haven't been happy for a long time, in fairness, but
here we go.
They're not happy.
Key points from the draft withdrawal agreement. You'll hate this because it's Guardian.
Oh god, they don't know anything.
Just 2 seconds. Let's go. Change that over.
Professional podcast.
I'll put that on the table just in case we need to.
Yeah, I might cry.
Yeah, what about the Brexit deal?
Yeah, but it's quite nice, this podcast, because we get along well. We don't have the same political views, and I was pro Brexit, you were pro Remain, so it's quite good to have a bit of variety.
Both very drunk on the way home the other day,
and we were both very drunk
after Tony Bellew fight. We got very drunk, and
that is sad.
Yeah, that was quite a sad fight. But we were very, very drunk, and we ended up just talking about politics and being like, "Well, we're both very different in our ideals, but we're both friends."
That's real diversity for you.
That is.
Not skin colour or anything like that, or sexual orientation.
Political views.
Just anything in your mind. Your individuality is more of a. I can't remember what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Is more diverse than anything else.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Diversity doesn't need to be a skin colour or a sexual orientation.
But it can be.
It can be, but it's not an important one by any means. I don't really care if people are gay or trans or what's the other one? Black or I know it doesn't come in the same category, but I don't care. Honestly, I just care about what's inside, what people are talking about, what their ideas are. I think that's way more.
My favourite thing is when people are like, "I'm not racist. I have black friends."
My favourite
conservative motto. My sister's boyfriend's son is black.
Yeah, actually, we didn't have a lot of black people in Belfast, did we?
We had a couple. We had
Ollie,
Jordan, Cox. Ollie. Jordan wasn't.
Ollie was also.
He wasn't African. I think he was Caribbean, if we're talking about specifics. But yeah. Who else? Yeah, we had a very...
Isaac was like...
As the white... a very white school.
Yeah, we were, actually. Surprisingly, because literally on the other way, and like Chase, it was like majority black, wasn't it? And like Westcliff and
they got
Southend.
better. And what's surprised, they got better grades than us.
Yeah, because we don't work as hard.
No, we don't. Because it's all given to us because we're all white.
See, it doesn't work like that. It's a meritocracy. We live in a meritocracy.
Sure we do, Alex. Sure we do.
We definitely do.
So, Brexit, this is a key point. Future trade agreement. You ready for this?
Oh,
You ready to cry?
yeah. I'll get the tissue.
The issue may be even more depressing for Brexiteers. The future UK-EU relationship, which both sides have said requires much more work but aims to achieve a close relationship on services, including financial services.
Well, that's good. Financial services.
And
right.
investment, as well as sectoral cooperation in, for example, transport, would build on the single customs territory provided for in the withdrawal agreement.
Fuck's sake.
So it basically means we're still working with the EU and we don't have a free trade agreement.
That's just not really ideal, is it?
Yeah, no. Controversial clause. Financial markets, apparently another controversial one. London's financial centre only a basic level access to the EU's markets, similar to that enjoyed by the US and Japanese firms. It will be based on the EU's existing system of financial market access, known as equivalence, and a watered-down relationship that Brussels has said all along was the best arrangement that Britain could expect. So, what's happened is the EU have got the better deal.
Well, that's not good. That's not really.
So it's clearly very poorly done. We had a very poor hand to start off with because we had a very close. Because the EU could just use the fact that your entire country, half of your country doesn't want this. Only half of your country does. There's a majority, but it's only 52-48. Only that wants this to happen. So they have all the cards in their hand, and they've played it very, very well.
Yeah, I think the worst bit.
They're still making money off Britain, so it's,
Yeah, I think the worst bit is for Theresa May especially was when she was doing it. You had people like Vince Cable and Jeremy Corbyn like saying, "No, you can't do that," and then can't do that. We need the public needs to see this. Like she lost her hand to our own people. We sort of took her hand away from her in the negotiations. Unfortunately, I think that was the best way to do it. I think people should just understand some of this needs to be kept in the dark. But I mean, she's also a Remainer, really, isn't she? So,
yeah.
Jeremy Corbyn's actually the Brexiteer, isn't he? Really?
I'm not too sure about that.
Because no one really knew what his side was, and he was very quiet in the referendum.
But it's because he didn't want to give his side because a lot of Labour was for Brexit. Weirdly enough,
but not the MPs. His constituencies were, but the MPs weren't, because they're very Blairites, weren't they? They're still Blairites at that point. Blair was all about getting into the centre of the EU, which never happened, did it?
Labour MPs supporting Brexit. There we go.
There's one really good one. There's a German lady who was really, really good in the referendum.
Labour leave, yeah. No.
There were some, don't get me wrong. But like there wasn't a majority of Tories in the Brexit side either. It was a very sparse side, to be honest, the Brexit side, but they had more of the personality.
Yeah, I suppose. Just seems like a lot of issues going on in this country. So a lot of people are saying that it's going to end in riots when it goes through.
I wouldn't be surprised. It'd probably be from everyone. It wouldn't even be just Remainers or just Brexiteers, because this is Brexit in name. But like we just decided, you know what, we want to leave you. So say we'll use the Brexit narrative of we're abused wife. Say we're that in this Brexit narrative, and we go, right, we're leaving you. We finally find a position of strength. We're going to go, I'm going to leave you. So what I'm going to do before I leave you is put this dog collar on, give you the lead, and now I'm not your wife anymore. I'm your dog. That's what happened. That's basically what happened with Brexit.
Yeah. Someone here said, Black Friday's coming. I reckon we should hold out to see if we get a better Brexit deal in the sale.
At least we've still got British humour.
So, he's the Brexit minister.
Oh, was he?
Rob, yeah, he's the Brexit minister.
Oh, damn, I thought I got it right.
Another pro-Brexit minister to show the same integrity as Vara and Rob. That's insane.
So no one's happy. Well done, mate. No one's happy.
British politics, guys. It's great. We're fucked.
Well, we can keep
on the bright side, we won't have to deal with Article 13, but...
That's true. I mean, honestly, that would be... If we can get away with not having Article 13, That's
we
actually
won't
a huge
because we're not in
benefit.
the EU. It's an EU law.
Do we still have to take EU laws though?
No, I think we have our own laws.
Oh, well, that's a bit beneficial then. Because
Being pro Brexit means you're pro no human rights.
that was a myth.
No, it's not. I talked to the MP of Southend.
Oh, which one?
Not Amos. Amos is our MP.
I don't know who the Southend is. He?
He's a fucking arsehole, is what he is. And he believes that, one, alright, all mental... sorry, not all. I'll quote him properly. Majority of mental health problems in this country and in Southend are caused by marijuana. Untrue.
Oh, there's been no statistic on that. I don't think he's got those figures from anywhere.
No, and he also says there's no children in Southend that have mental health problems. There's no children in Southend that get abused by their parents. And
I've seen Southend parents; they're awful.
He's saying there's no children in Southend that need mental health care.
Oh, I think they do.
He says he said it's an acute problem, right? And he also said, "Oh, I'm not pro no human rights because I voted for Brexit. I just don't believe prisoners should vote. Why not?
Because, well, in my opinion,
Okay,
this is where I think he'd get his idea from. Is when someone does like a crime like murder, we call or something against, say, the original Ten Commandments. We're going to say it like that. We're going to say what they did was inhumane. If it's inhumane, are they still human? That's what they're. So I think that's where he's getting at. Do they deserve to
no,
vote?
but I'm talking about there's people in prison for petty drug crime.
Oh, we get too many like teenagers getting a criminal record for
Exactly. So those teenagers
stuff.
can't vote. But he's also saying once they get out of prison and they've been reformed, that they shouldn't be able to vote.
I don't agree with that. I admit he's quite far actually.
I kind of half understand.
I do understand. It's not coming from nothing. But
I
it's
half
not-
understand that people in prison shouldn't vote, but it should depend on what they're in prison for.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree. Do you want to hear some scary science facts?
Go on, tell me some scary science facts.
It's because it's past Halloween. But
Brilliant.
no, this is
Spooky shit.
literally disturbing. So there was an experiment, yeah.
Okay.
Should have like a torch underneath and
Yeah,
make it
yeah,
scary.
yeah.
So there was this sort of experiment where they showed men like different women bodies, basically, and the most attracted body the men were most attractive to was BMI, body mass index rather,
Yeah.
of 18. Do you know which demographic or age demographics got 18?
What?
13-year-olds.
Really?
13-year-olds.
That's kind of a bit of a fucked up test, though, isn't it? It's like, what kind of size body do you like most? Do you like a small, skinny girl, or do you like a big, fat girl? Most guy will say the smallest, skinniest girl.
I don't
right?
think they did from one extreme to the other, though. Do you think?
A 13-year-old girl that's skinny and has a BMI of 18 kind of, to me, seems like... And a lot of people might not have been, like, told what BMI is. So they might have just said 18 is in terms of an 18-year-old girl.
They didn't know the BMI, though.
Well, then what did they know? What was the test?
They just
about?
literally saw like the body type. I don't know if it was in a silhouette or if it was bikini or whatever. Because you can get like, I don't know, 18-year-olds in that sort of body shape, can't you?
Well, yeah, but if they're showing an 18-year-old in that body type, then what's the problem? They're just trying to say it's 13-year-olds to say that men are bad and men like children.
There's a lot of attacking men. Another thing which I think is extremely scary, and I think because you know, for progressive society, I'd always say, and I'm sure you would, just say follow science.
Yes. And even for a Christian man like yourself, you follow science. So.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah.
You wouldn't hear me saying this. And I think we need to follow back to science because I don't know if you noticed, but I found this definitely more on the left and stuff. But there's this statistic of, so transgender, yeah?
Transgenderism, yeah.
Do you know the other name for it?
No.
Gender dysphoria. So, basically, a mental condition. We'll say condition. So, what they have is they do have a higher suicide rate before they get the transition, before they get the
Yeah, I know
body
about
chopped
that.
off and
Yeah,
stuff.
because they're not happy and they're not them inside their own body.
And then when they have it, the statistic doesn't change. When they have it, after they have it done, they're still just as likely.
There has been a lot of people. It's a minority of people that get sex changes that go back, that realise that they're not that and they want to go back.
Yeah, I agree. And I think because a lot of it is coming down to the puberty blockers.
Yeah.
And doing it to children. Like, children, for the one, have no concept of what it means to be a guy and what to be a girl. Most of the kids they're doing it to are just gay children.
There's a TV show about that, man.
Is there?
Yeah, no, it's quite interesting. It's got a couple of good actors in it. You ever watch Goal?
Gold?
Goal, the movie.
Oh. Was that the girl who dressed up as a guy to play the football?
No, Goal is about the American guy that comes to play for Newcastle.
Oh, okay. I've not seen that.
Well, he's Mexican, illegal immigrant to America, and then he comes to England to play for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Then there's Goal 2 where he plays for Real Madrid, wins the Champions League against Arsenal. For fuck's sake. But anyway, it's got his girlfriend in it. She's a very good British actress that never really went mainstream Hollywood, but always stayed like low key British. And she's very, very good in it. It's about kind of like a family getting ripped apart, trying to get this child. It's actually played by a little boy, playing this girl, basically.
All right.
And she knows that she wants to be a girl. 100% knows. You can tell she wears makeup, she goes around dressed as a girl, but she wants to be a girl because at school she gets bullied, and if she gets the sex change, she gets the puberty blockers, she can then accept herself. But also, she was, again, they address the suicidal thoughts before their sex change and before the puberty blockers and stuff like that. So it's interesting. She said, I don't want to turn more into a boy, you know? It's like, it makes sense to get it almost at a young age, because if they know and they can prove psychologically, there's 100% that they know for sure that they want to be, or they are a female inside of a boy's body, that they need those puberty blockers, because it's so much easier to do the surgery to change.
Absolutely, I do agree. There are definitely people who are transgender who do generally think, and then there's the other people who, so they know, and then there's people who think. There's a difference.
I have this horrible feeling that with a lot of things nowadays, and the way like social justice warriors are and shit like that, that there are a lot of people that believe that they are these things for attention instead of actually being these things.
Yeah, it's actually, I think a transgender person came out and said, this is what I think is going on. I think there's people who are literally just using it for attention. And I think there was someone who said that, or maybe I'm just lying. Right-wing news, obviously. No, it's just, I do worry. I worry for the people. People think I'm inhumane, but no, I'm not suggesting that I want them out of existence or I don't believe they exist. I'm saying I generally worry for them because the suicide rate doesn't change so much, and it's higher than people in Auschwitz. No, was it? I can't remember now. But definitely in the high max security prisons.
I'm sure the suicide rate isn't higher than Auschwitz.
It's generally extremely high though. It's like
I can imagine it being extremely high, but not higher.
The only time it was, it's close enough in human history. It's the same, nearly parallel. Was the Jews in Nazi Germany? That's the only time. So that I mean, are they getting treated worse than Jews in Nazi Germany? I'm not entirely sure. Especially with all the SJWs, they've got to be like, they're praised.
I just watched it. I watched a thing. It was one of those speakers. It's a fairly right-wing speaker going on about how he doesn't believe in free. He believes in there's no such thing as hate speech, right? And there's this girl. She's just like such a hypocrite.
Really?
Yeah. And it seems to be all the crowd are on the side, and then there's like these two girls like screaming Black Lives Matter. And it's like, he's like, yeah, I believe that, I agree with you, But I don't believe that people who say, he believes that people are allowed to say what they want. They're so far left and they're so far right. That's why I'm so conflicted to vote for Labour or Lib Dem. Because right now I feel like the Conservatives are a problem. Especially the way they've handled the Brexit deal. They're not going to be in power next general election.
That scares me as well. Because I agree they haven't done well. But Labour want to increase corporation tax and stuff like that.
But they want to increase the policing on fucking free speech. That's the problem. Labour MPs are saying that they want to increase policing on free speech. They want to basically arrest you if you offend someone.
But offence isn't given.
We wouldn't be... Yeah, offence is taken, exactly.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be where we are if people never got offended.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be as technologically advanced as we are if people never got offended. The reason why we are advancing so far in technology right now is because people don't believe in religion as much anymore.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
I mean, there's that joke in Family Guy when they do the multiverse episode where Stewie and Brian go off to the multiverse and it's so far in the future, and this is the same time, but this is the 2,000 years after Christ. If we never believed in religion, if Christianity was never a thing, this is how far ahead we would be. And it's this insane utopia of technology.
Yeah, I agree. I think religion has held back in the past. I think it's not so much a problem now that it's more of a minority. I'm still religious. I think there's still a place for religion. I mean, especially with the way what religion has exactly brought as well in terms of morals and stuff like that. I think there's a place for it.
I agree with you. I believe that religion has brought a lot of good, but it's also brought a lot of bad. I mean, we wouldn't have the KKK without religion.
True. The KKK is probably the Christian terrorist group.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I mean, I watched Black Klansman, which is
I watched that as well.
Great movie, and you see the end with Charlottesville and stuff like that, and it's still going on today.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think Charlottesville was taken out of context. I can't remember if it was that university or another one.
It was slightly taken out of context in the film.
Because, am I right in saying...
It was started by the left.
Yeah,
but the right then took it too far.
Because wasn't the left going to make a all-black day in the campus or something like that, and throw out the white teachers for a day and stuff like that, and one white teacher said, no, I don't support this discrimination. I don't think that's right. And then that's when the right wing and the white people come in and say, you will not replace us. That's the idea, because they did not want to be replaced for that day. It just seemed odd.
Let's look it up. Charlottesville car attack story. So, car attack, suspect charged with a hate crime. That is a hate crime, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I believe that being a hate crime, and she fucking killed someone.
Yeah, absolutely. That was terrible.
It's murder as well.
I do not condone violence on their side.
Or is that manslaughter? If you hit somebody, it's intentional, so it is murder, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's...
But they could argue that they didn't intend to kill someone.
I suppose so. They can do... I don't know, actually.
Charlottesville car attack suspect pleads not guilty to federal hate crime.
No, it's got to be a hate crime.
Cunt.
No, absolutely, it's got to be a hate crime. I don't believe that. The left knew exactly where the right were marching, so they didn't actually have to conflict it by any means. They should let it be a peaceful protest like most protests.
They were anti-fascist protesters. It was a protest, though. It was. Thing is, it was some left-wing anti-fascist guys started throwing stuff. And then the right, I believe, don't quote me on this because I might not be right, because this is what I remember from when it happened. I believe the right started throwing stuff back, and then there was fights, and then the police had to get involved and stuff like that. And then I think the left came out another day and started protesting again, and then the car rammed into them.
Right, I think it might have been something like that. The only thing is, I think I was horrified that Donald Trump actually got scrutinised for that, his speech afterwards, because his speech was actually spot on. It was violence from both sides, bad people
No,
from
he
both
didn't say
sides.
that.
He did say that.
No, the direct quote is, one side was very angry and very loud, and one side was very violent.
Well, that's not wrong, is it?
But he doesn't say the sides. He doesn't come out and say... and then he also said, Oh, only some of them were white supremacists. What? He said no, not many of them were neo-Nazis. When they're saying fucking get rid of the Jews and shit like that, they're marching through this campus saying get rid of the Jews and shit like that, and they're holding Nazi flags and they're walking through saying white power, white power, white power. I'm sorry, when you say that's not what it is, then you're lying just to try and get better press from Fox News because they're right wing.
Fox News is right wing. CNN is left wing.
Did you see what's come out?
No, not recently.
Fox News have supported CNN in suing Donald Trump.
What for?
For taking away Jim Acosta's federal press badge.
He broke the rules. He should have been taken away.
He was an arsehole, but you shouldn't take away his press badge because he should still be allowed. He should. This is it's not his second or third time he's done it, but at the end of the day, it's free speech, and you're taking away someone's free speech by doing that. You're taking away a press badge from CNN as well. You're not just taking away his press badge. You're taking that away from CNN. You're taking that away from just because you don't want the left wing speaking up, basically.
Right. I mean, he is a distributor of fake news, though. He's obviously. I mean, he went on to the show, CNN. And they asked, I think it was CNN. I might be wrong.
There you go.
And he goes, "I never touched a woman," but he did, didn't he? Like,
it's on video.
And
it's on video of him doing it. He's
the worst bit is the left said it was doctored. It was never doctored. It was zoomed in, and it wasn't sped up. There was no evidence of it being sped up.
Oh, the Acosta video.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's fake. That is doctored. That is sped up.
That's 100% not sped up.
It is sped up.
It's not. It's being compared with the actual event with that, and it's not sped up. It's 100% not.
Maybe the original video isn't, but if you look at the original video, maybe it's fine. I understand if you look at the original video, but there's a lot of people sharing this doctored version of it, which is zoomed in, which is grainy, which has been passed around too much.
That's because it's taken from a GIF, though.
Exactly. If it's taken from a GIF, that means the thing's only fucking like 20 frames anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
Yeah, so
then the left did it as well. The CNN then said, and then he said, "Okay, so you won't touch," and then they played the video and didn't get to the part where he actually touched the woman. they cut that out. So they doctored it themselves. It's such attack from both sides.
That is politics, though, isn't it?
It never used to be this polarised, though.
Yeah, but it's so bad now with media access and stuff like that. But in America, it's so much worse. I mean,
thank God it's not.
Remember when we watched Michael Moore's documentary in class about Columbine?
Yeah.
You don't like him, do you?
Well, you know what? Back then, when I was naive, I thought his video was groundbreaking. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And then I realised, well, you didn't tell the truth anywhere. Really?
He did, but it was his truth.
Oh,
right?
Not his truth. It's my truth.
But it was his truth. He was trying to get across his truth. There are people that go out and fucking, there's these militia groups and stuff like that in certain states. There is these militia groups. Why do we have militia groups? No one knows. No one gives a fuck. There are people there is that guy that fucking planned to help plan that bomb but didn't get arrested. This is just what I remember. It's very minuscule parts. I haven't watched it in a while. But Michael Moore is he definitely skews this information.
Didn't he say basically we had guns because of racism or something like that?
It is half true.
There's
the reason
it's
they
not the
have
reason
not the reason now, but the reason they have the Fourth Amendment is to basically keep slaves in check. And I'm pretty sure the original Fourth Amendment said that only white men could hold guns. And
I thought Second Amendment.
Second Amendment, yeah, Second Amendment. Fourth Amendment's something different, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I think they've changed it, haven't they? Obviously, since.
I think so, but you know the 13th Amendment?
No, I don't know.
Let me read it out to you. There's a documentary on Netflix. 13th Amendment.
The Second Amendment's reasoning is actually it's to resist tyranny. So if there's a chance that you get a tyrannical leader, you can resist him with your guns or her.
So
Clinton would have been one.
the 13th Amendment was the slavery abolishment, right?
Yeah.
But 13th Amendment images. Let's see if I can get it written. Keep talking, mate.
Yeah, and then
Well, I'll find this.
so the idea that it's a fight against a tyrannical existence, maybe in your government, that's not too far away from the truth. I mean, it's happened in Nazi Germany. No one in Europe thought that would ever happen. So the reason for their guns is to fight tyranny, and like some people will argue, Donald Trump is tyrannical. He's not really tyrannical. Hillary Clinton could have been tyrannical for all we know.
I believe we've got the lesser of two evils.
I don't like her. I think she's deadly corrupt. She's got more links than Trump would ever have. It's just, I think you're right, actually. I do think you're right. And Bernie Sanders, I don't really agree with his politics, but he probably was the best bet. Because I think if the only country, I think, in the world which could survive a degree of socialism would be USA. They're so rich, I think they've got...
Yeah.
They're the only country which could survive socialism. But if you do socialism in the UK, if you're rich and successful and you're getting taxed more...
Can't hate Bernie. Bernie's actually a really nice guy, and he has really good ideas. And he wants to make a healthcare free in the US, which is great. He wants to...
What, and get the NHS?
He basically wants the NHS, yeah, and he also wants to make schooling free, which I think we could have in this country, but we just refuse. They have it in fucking Scotland, why can't we have it here? Why can't we have free education?
Because they run at a terrible budget, Scotland, and they're in tremendous amount of debt.
My cousin's gone to uni twice. He's done very well. So
a lot of Scottish students miss out though because they get international people to pay for international students to pay for the fees in the end, really, which is why their costs are so much higher.
Well, this is what I was finding about the 13th Amendment. The current state of prison labour in the United States has distinct roots in the slavery era economy and society. So the 13th Amendment was the amendment that abolished slavery. With the passage of the 13th Amendment in 1865, slavery was deemed unconstitutional, with the exception of slavery as a punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. So, for example, most of Victoria's Secret's fabrics are made in prison for free labour by the prison population in America is kind of like crazy, like 2 million. They hold, I think, a third of the world's prison population because they want to use people as slaves still. And there's some crazy figure that I don't want to say, but a high majority of them are black people. And the whole entire idea of the war against drugs from Nixon and Reagan was all about arresting black men and putting them in prison and keeping them as slaves.
I don't mind if they use slave labour in prisons, but I mean to discriminate a group to
they
do
were
it
giving
is not
people
fair.
10 years for holding marijuana, but they were only giving black men 10 years for holding marijuana. Any white man that got caught with it, they wouldn't fucking arrest them. They just give them a warning.
I think times have definitely improved from then. They definitely have.
In America, probably not. Over here, definitely.
Well, I suppose because we didn't really have any slaves at any point, really.
Well,
we just traded them.
Yeah, we traded them.
And we did Britain
have...
don't get credit for actually stopping slavery either. They never got credit. We blockaded a lot of Africa to stop slavery. We lost men because people died to stop slavery in Britain.
Yeah.
I think
The Queen had fucking slaves, though, to be fair.
Yeah,
the Queen still does have slaves. Do you know how much she pays the people to clean Buckingham Palace?
Right.
Do you know what's the 14 grand a year?
Well, that's what she gets. It's not clean, is it?
265 rooms a day.
That's really... I mean, that's pretty impressive rates. I don't know how she
But
does
they're
that.
huge rooms. They're like halls and shit. There's 14 grand a year. That's under minimum wage, basically. That is minimum wage.
You know what's oppressing black people the worst, though?
What?
Have you watched Jordan Peterson?
Yeah.
So
I agree with some of his stuff, not all of it.
yeah, that's fair. That's good. The idea that you can object to some things and that is very good.
He'd probably agree with me if, you know.
So what I think is there's a huge disproportionate amount of black people in prison, but there's also a huge disproportionate amount of black families without a father. Now, I don't know about you, but father figures are hugely important for one, teaching you rules. So when you do play fighting, I imagine you play fighting with your father, sort of. It's more of what happens.
I've actually fought with my dad, but yeah.
let's call it play fighting. So one time I pulled my dad's hair and he said, "No, that's not allowed. That's against the rules."
Yeah, everyone's played fight with their dad when they're younger.
That's teaching you rules. That's the original teaching you rules. If kids don't, and like they stop kids from doing play fighting in schools now, if you stop, especially boys, if you stop them from doing play fighting, they become more aggressive.
Yeah.
They don't understand the rules as much. And basically that is the start of how, and they can't control their anger either. They can't take punishment as much. That is the start of making criminals. I'm not saying every one parent family, single mother family is going to have that issue, but I'm saying it does contribute.
You know,
it's important to have a strong.
My friend, and I'm sure you knew him, Adam. He died recently. You know, rest in peace. But he had a single mum. I'm not blaming his mum because his mum's lovely.
Exactly,
but he didn't have a father figure. So you know, it was, you know, he didn't. I don't think he ever really knew his dad. I'm pretty sure his dad might have been in prison. So
I think both mothers and fathers figures are both incredibly important, and you get a lot of TV of like showing drunk dads like Homer Simpson.
Well, he abuses his kids as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, Family Guy, Peter Griffin. They're terrible excuses of father.
But the entire point of Homer Simpson was to be the worst dad on the planet, wasn't it?
That is true, and it works in fairness for comedy.
I mean, like if it was real, I mean, it'd be really bad because he just abuses his kids all the time.
Yeah, pretty bad actually. And yeah, I think there's a role for fathers, and like if you get a single father, they go, he needs a lot of help, and he probably does. He needs like teach his kids women role models as well. When it's single mothers, more like, you go girl, you don't need a man. Or they might say men are useless, men are this. If you've got a son and you're saying men are useless, men are this, or
to your
father left me, your father was a poor excuse of a man, your kid is going to worry, am I like my father? Is that how I'm going to be? And they get angry at society and stuff like that.
I suppose, but it is a bit of a generalisation. Like, not all.
Oh no, obviously not all of them. Yeah, and of course it's related to different sort of scenarios as well. There's loads of external factors which play into it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the one sole cause. Of course not.
Yeah.
But I think that is a cause which can't be necessarily looked over. I think that's a quite important role. I mean, in all society, not just necessarily for the black community and how that hasn't helped them. I think in the whole society. God,
should get Alex on, talk about politics, you know? It's a way to get him going for about an hour.
I've got more.
I had so much shit written down. I had politics right at the bottom, but I was like, you know what, might
Politics, my favourite.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, fuck. Our country's gone to shit. America's gone to shit. Just move to the fucking Europe or something.
Move to Russia.
Maybe not. But if, I mean, any nuclear war's going to be started, probably safer there. Because they're definitely going to be the first ones to pull the trigger.
Yeah, some barren part of Russia. Or...
I'm sorry. If you're going to put off a nuclear bomb, where would you shoot? Where would you hit? Because you know where I would hit? If I was trying to take out an entire country, right? And only one bomb would take out maybe like an entire city. You'd hit the silo, wouldn't you? You'd hit your bomb with another nuclear bomb.
Yeah, I suppose that's clever.
Creates double the explosion. And then that might connect with another one. You know, I mean, nuclear silos in America, there's a map that shows you where they all are, and there's so many. US. So Look at this. And that's just in the... That's just
Bloody
down
hell.
the east coast? Yeah.
Wow.
So you think they get hit by a nuke? How many bombs can go off? Look, just there. There's hundreds.
Oh my god. I think most of ours are in submarines in Scotland, aren't they?
Most of ours, yeah.
That's probably a safer way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, we keep them in the sea. It's insane, that.
That is so insane. Yeah, I always feel slightly safe in England because I feel like if
We're a very small country to hit.
we're a small country to hit, we've got good air defences, and also if you're going to hit anyone, you're going to want to hit America, aren't you?
How are you going to stop a nuke? I mean, you can shoot it, but what's that going to do? It's just going to fuck up another country. I mean, if we do that, we're in the position that, you know, if we actually have a nuke coming at us, we're probably, you know,
We wouldn't survive a nuclear
probably
weapon.
deserved.
In some places, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, we wouldn't survive a nuclear bomb.
No, we wouldn't last 100 days.
Chances are it would hit Manchester or London. London's probably the most likely target.
We'd be wiped out. Probably,
Yeah, we'd be gone.
So, yeah, we're not particularly safe.
Let's have a look. Nuclear missile radius.
Some of them big now. I think some of them actually might even cover the whole of the UK.
Death is highly likely, and radiation poisoning is almost certain if one caught was in the open with no terrain or building masking effects within a radius of 0 to 3 kilometers from a 1 megaton airburst. I'm pretty sure most nuclear weapons now are like 500 megatons.
Yeah, I think they're a lot bigger than that.
Russian.
There's like a special app or something on the computer which shows you how big they are now.
SAR bomb, 100 megatons. Yeah, the SAR bomb is was the most powerful nuclear weapon created.
That's deadly. That's
Well, the
really
hydrogen bomb, yeah, that is the hydrogen bomb. Exploded one over in the Russian Arctic Sea in 61.
Really?
Yeah, to test it.
It's terrifying, to be honest. I don't like nuclear weapons, but I think they actually have, in some way, kept the peace, because I think no one wants to go to war anymore with the idea of a nuclear warfare.
So, the B-53 or the B-61 is potentially America's most powerful bomb. 1.2 megatons.
Bloody hell.
List of nuclear weapons. What's the new ones then? So the SAR bomb is 100, so it's 300 kilometers max radius. Or with definitely 300 kilometers.
We are definitely. I think we're not. We're like 50 miles from London, aren't we? Or from the middle.
40 miles, I think. 45. 40 miles in kilometers.
It's definitely.
64 kilometers. That would destroy half of Britain. Let's look at 300. 300 kilometers, 186 miles radius. Everything within 186 miles would be destroyed. Or you'd die at least.
That's terrifying. That is I told you, they got stuff
Yeah,
which is massive.
Russia's... They've disarmed it, lads. They've disarmed it. Sure,
Yeah,
they
I
have.
believe
That amount of power, you're not going to get rid of that, are you?
No.
Something that huge, you know you're not going to get rid of that.
Oh, I know Britain probably wouldn't.
We wouldn't know. Hold on to that forever. We'd fucking take over the world again, wouldn't we?
Although, the advantage of that is, do you know how many troops Britain can deploy to anywhere in the world in like something like 30
We have
minutes?
one of the biggest armies still, don't we?
It's not necessarily massive, but it's because we've got so much of the like army bases in pretty much every country. We can deploy something like 60,000 troops pretty much anywhere in the world in like 30 minutes to like 2 hours. That's before Russia could even mobilise their army.
Jesus.
So there is
60,000 is not much, though, is it?
no, it's not a lot. But I suppose we've got reserves.
But there you go. You think about 60,000. That's 20,000 less that can fit in Wembley Stadium. And think about all them with guns.
That's mad. Think of America. They're all guns. We've got quite a lot of guns in our rural areas, haven't we? The rural areas still have guns. You're allowed them in the countryside.
Yeah, a lot of rural areas. I mean, I follow a page that sells guns on on Instagram.
Really?
It's like a locksmith, not locksmith, like a gunsmith that sells like old double-barrel shotguns and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want. I mean, this is a bit weird, but I kind of want to own a gun just to.
You have to keep it You have to keep it cased.
Oh, that's fine. I just want it for decorations. Just like guns coming in with like my armory. That'd be amazing.
I want to go shoot it. I want to go. Controversial as it is, I want to go hunting in America.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. Like hunting elk and stuff, and like huge like animals.
That is controversial.
Yeah, but do you know what I believe? Personally, I believe that if you can't kill the food that you eat, if you don't have the heart to kill the food that you eat, if you eat meat, I understand that you're a vegetarian. I completely understand that's better for you in some ways, and it's worse for you in others. But I completely respect vegetarians and vegans. But
no, I don't respect vegans.
Okay, but if you don't have the heart to kill an animal like a chicken or a cow, then you don't deserve to eat their meat, because it is more humane to hunt an animal and kill it and eat that than it is to have it mass produced and mass slaughtered.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't have a problem killing for my food, although I'll do it with a heavy heart, because I don't like killing things. I don't even kill flies, but that's because I don't eat them. So what's the point of killing them? I wouldn't even kill a spider unless it's false widow. Cause
like, would you go hunting for game in this country for like rabbits and?
Probably unsuccessfully, but I would if I had to eat it. But like, otherwise, I wouldn't feel the need to do the hunting.
It's very healthy to go hunting as well. It's something that you should learn, because there's a place where anything can happen. You know, if there could be a nuclear attack, there could be these things. You know, there could be all this shit that happens. We need to know. We need to have the ability to, you know, hunt.
Yeah, that's true. In case we get nuked by Russia or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But we also need to know that people need to know how to hunt still. I mean,
I think it is a useful skill. I wouldn't like. I mean, Bear Grylls traps and stuff.
maybe he drinks his own piss and it's all fake.
Is it actually?
There's a video, the Seinfeld themed videos.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like he jumps over this crevice. And he's like, well, we got to go over here because like that's where I think food's gonna be. And then these two guys go to where that was filmed. Turn around, there's a road right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some of the stuff, the stunts he does and stuff like that, they're all real. So
that's still cool then.
So he jumps off shit.
Is he like from my SAS or something like that?
He is. I don't know if it was SAS. It might have been Marines.
I can't remember which he was.
I think he was Royal Marines.
He's Northern Irish as well, isn't he?
I'm not too sure. I have his book. I know that.
I remember you reading it actually.
Yeah. I know that he went to Eaton, so he's a bit of a posh cunt.
That explained where the accent went. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. I suppose there's nothing wrong with going Eaton.
Well,
It's
apart from the
all
fact they've
great
only
now,
just
though.
got their first black student.
There's a reason about that, but I will not say because it's way too controversial.
It's probably very racist as well.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's like terrible. Like, this is the worst. It's the worst thing I ever found in science. I'm not ever going to repeat it because I don't want everyone to ever find out, because like the far right will use it as a weapon and like the far left will kill me. So I just
You got to tell me this afterwards. I want to know.
Oh, it's the worst news I ever found out in my life. Actually, I really, really wish I never found that out.
You got people like on a knife edge right now? People want to know.
They can't know. Look up, Google it.
So, international break, Alex. Rooney's playing again.
Is he actually?
Yeah, he's playing tonight.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Rooney's playing against the USA.
Well, that's not worth watching, is it? It's not worth watching. I don't want to watch Rooney. I don't really want.
Did you not know about
that?
Did you not know about that? They gave him a call up because he wants to play his 120th cap.
You get it on merit, mate. You don't do it because you want it. I want him.
Southgate doesn't want him in the squad, but they're giving him a guard of honour and then passing him the armband before the game.
I'm not watching it. Screw it. I'm not watching that. I wanted to watch us beat USA, but we're not going to beat it with Rooney. Got bloody Rooney. What can he do? Oh.
Like they're posting all this stuff. Rooney's still got it. I'm like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He can't run for 10 minutes without probably being out of breath now. He plays
exactly. That's 2 miles in America. He's going to play centre mid. Going to be like Noble, where everyone just runs past him. He's going to get the long ball. He's going to kick it up the pitch and do everything Noble can, but Noble will never get a call up because he's not that good. And Rooney's not that good anymore. He was a striker. I could still see him as a striker, just about. But like he plays midfield most of the time, doesn't he? He's not a midfielder.
Do me a favour. Just look at the screen on that and check if it not the lens. And just check if it's recording and tell me how much time it's got left. Should say on the bottom left or bottom right. Should have a countdown.
I want to see a countdown. Oh wait, there's it's top right. There's 5 minutes and 16 seconds left.
Alright, cool. Oh, thank you. It's like Southgate is wanting to build a very young squad. He's wanted to build this young squad, and then now, Rooney's back. Like, he didn't even bring James Milner to the World Cup because he wanted to have this young squad.
Oh, it's just not worth it. I'm really livid about that. I don't. How many times does he have to cheat on his wife before like the public don't like him?
Fucking grannies.
Yeah. I mean, it's not very graceful, is it?
He is a granny shagger.
Yep, that's the title of
Rooney, granny shag.
Brilliant. That's it. We should do like special effects. So if I do this, you can do like granny shagger, and then like.
I already have to spend like 8 hours editing this. Just
spend another 12.
Fuck you.
I don't know. Is his wife still with him?
Colleen, yeah.
I suppose he went to America, so it's worth it. But
they've got kids together, haven't they?
Yeah, I bet she regrets that.
I mean, you can date if you fuck. It never happened. If you're gonna marry a footballer, then you know what's gonna happen. You are gonna get cheated on. To be fair.
Yeah, that's
it's just true. It's just if you marry a football player, as horrible as it is, you are probably gonna get cheated on.
But you get a ton of money.
Yeah.
And to be honest, there's evidence that females are attracted to status, so football money, status.
Yeah.
Men are attracted to genetics, so good looks. That's how it works, and women want to be admired. I can't remember what men want. I think they just want to shag. I can't really remember.
Sounds like men to me.
Sounds like feminist call now.
Brilliant.
That's exactly men. Men are just shaggers. We don't need men. Do you want to reproduce? Do you? I suppose I can get to a sperm bank. So men, if you want females with the whole new bisexual rage, just don't give your,
bisexual rage.
Let's not give our
Alex.
sperm to sperm banks, or else the females won't need us anymore, and they can just live their lesbian
before this gets,
utopia.
I think we should wrap up before this gets too controversial, my friend.
I am so gonna get killed by progressives.
Probably, mate. Yeah.
Oh no, that's the one thing.
You're
my mum
lucky no
told me
one
not to
watches
do.
this.
That's true. Mum told me don't do anything. Don't tell people you're conservative. I'm already outed, Mum. I just don't want you to get killed by liberals. Like,
Is that what she said?
yeah,
She actually said that?
yeah,
Brilliant.
pretty much.
Alright.
It was as close as I can get.
Well, thank you for listening or watching, whoever the fuck you are. And thanks for coming on again, Alex. So maybe I'll see you next week or...
Potentially, yeah. You might see me next week, or you may see me,
the week after.
yeah, or Christmas time.
Yeah. Alright.
Close to Christmas.
Alright. Well, cool.
Bye.
Bye. Press the